Hello, welcome to my math class. So for today's video, we are going to explain the different measures of central tendency, compute for the mean, median, and mode for ungrouped data, explain the different measures of variability, and compute for the range, the mean deviation, variance, and standard deviation for ungrouped data. So we start with the different measures of central tendency. But what do we mean by measures of central tendency? So central tendency in statistics refers to a single value that is representative of a set of data. It's a way to summarize or describe the center of a distribution or a data set. Meaning to say, under central tendency, ang concern natin is yung pinaka-center ng ating data set. So, what are the different measures of central tendency? Number 1 is the mean. Number 2 is the median. And number 3 is mode. So, for mean, ito po yung symbol na ginagamit natin. We have the X bar. X bar represents the sample mean. For the population mean, ang ginagamit natin na symbol is this. We have the mu. For median, ang symbol na ginagamit natin is X tilde or M o kaya MED in other references. And for mode, ang symbol na ginagamit natin is MO. So let's discuss ano ba yung ibig sabihin or paano i-compute yung mean for ungrouped data. So the mean, commonly known as average of a set of n numbers, is the sum of all the numbers divided by n. So, pag sinabing mean for ungrouped data, parang ano lang siya, yung average nung given set of numbers. So, the formula for mean of ungrouped data is x bar is equal to the summation of x sub I all over n. Now, let us apply the formula with our example. Example number 1. The following is a list of weekly savings of 10 students. So, meron tayong 10 estudyante. Ito yung kanilang weekly savings. Let's find the mean weekly savings of 10 students. So, dahil mean yung hinahanap, this will be our formula. X bar is equal to the summation of x sub I all over n. Ang n natin dyan is yung bilang ng numbers dun sa ating data set. So, ang n natin dito will be 10 dahil meron tayong 10 na given na numbers. So, n is equal to 10. So, to get the mean of the data, ang gagawin lang natin is pagpa-plus-plusin natin yung lahat ng numbers, i-divide mo ng n, where n is equal to 10. So, x bar is equal to 60 plus 50 plus 40 plus 50 plus 70 plus 50 plus 50 plus 80 plus 70 plus 70. Okay, yung sum niyan, that is over 10. So, pag pinag-plus-plus ito, that will become 590 over 10. And what is 590 divided by 10? Okay, so ang mean natin for this problem is 59. So, x bar is equal to 59. So, yun po yung pag-compute ng mean. Parang average lang din. Another example, the following are the ages of students in a culinary class. So, ito po yung ages ng student in a culinary class. Let's find the mean or compute for the mean. So, formula natin is mean is equal to the summation of x sub I all over n. And dito, ang n natin is equal to 10 kasi meron tayong 10 na numbers. Okay? So, ang mean natin is equal to 24 plus 18 plus 19 plus 20 plus 24 plus 26 plus 27 plus 20 plus 23 plus 18 all over 10. So, add lang natin yung nasa numerator. Mean is equal to 219 over 10. So, by division, 219 over 10 is equal to 21.9. Next is another type of mean. We call it weighted mean. Ano naman yung tinatawag natin na weighted mean? So, ang weighted mean is a type of average that takes into account the varying degrees of importance or weight assigned to different values in a data set. So, ano yung pinagkaiba ng simple mean sa weighted mean? Sa simple mean, pare-parehas lahat ng weight. Okay? Pero sa weighted mean, may mga ibang numbers na greater ang weights nila compared dun sa ibang set of numbers. And ang formula na ginagamit natin for weighted mean is equal to the summation of f times x all over n. So, para mas maintindihan, gamit tayo ng example. Or gamitin natin sa isang example. So, ito po yung ating given, naka-tabular form. Let us compute for the weighted mean. So, sa ating table, dito sa left side is yung weekly savings. Then, ito naman yung ating frequency, yung number of students natin. So, ang formula natin for weighted mean is summation of f times x over n. Bago tayo mag-proceed dun sa formula, ang kailangan munang gawin is gawa ka ng column para kay f times x. So, kailangan ita-times mo muna yung given po dito, okay, na x. Ito actually yung ating x. Ito naman yung ating f. So, i-times natin 40 times 1 is equal to 40. 50 times 4 is equal to 200. 60 times 1 is equal to 60. 70 times 3 is equal to 210. 80 times 1 is equal to 80. Now, dun sa ating formula, kung mapapansin nyo, meron tayong summation of f of x. Ang ibig sabihin, class, ng summation is kukunin mo lang yung sum. So, ang f of x values mo, itong mga to. So, ibig sabihin, para makuha si summation of f times x, ipagpa-plus-plus mo lang yung mga numbers dito sa may column na to. So, meaning to say, the summation of f times x or summation of fx is equal to 590. So, dahil nakuha mo na yung summation of f times x, isubstitute mo na lang doon sa formula. So, weighted mean is equal to 590 all over 10. Take note na ang n natin ay 10. Yung 10 na to is nakuha from adding all these numbers sa column na to. So, 590 divided by 10, obviously, ang sagot natin dyan is 59. So, the weighted mean is 59. Ang isa pang gamit ng weighted mean is, halimbawa, pagka ikaw ay magkakandak ng thesis, ng survey sa iyong Likert scale, yung may strongly agree, disagree, tsaka strongly disagree, ginagamit natin ang weighted mean. Okay, another example. Okay, so we have find the mean salary for a small company that pays monthly salaries to its employees as shown below in the frequency distribution. So, ito po yung ating X, yung mga salaries, and then ito yung F, yung number of employees natin. Ang kukumputin natin dito is the weighted mean kasi magkakaiba sila ng weights, okay? So, bago ang lahat, kailangan mag-create ka muna ng isang column, and this column will be named F times X. So, ita-times mo, gaya ng ginawa natin kanina, yung mga values dito, no? Kada row. So, unahin mo si 7,000 times 8, that is 56,000. Next is 8,000 times 11, that is 88,000. Next is 9,250 divided times 14 is 129,500. Then 10,000 times 9 is 90,000. 17,000 times 2 is 34,000. And 25,000 times 1 equals 25,000. Next na gagawin natin is i-add natin yung mga entries dito sa column na to na f times x para makuha yung summation of f times x. So, the summation of f times x is equal to 422,500. Dahil meron ka na noong summation of f of x, makocompute na natin yung ating weighted mean given by the formula summation of f of x all over n. Yung n natin is yung sum ng lahat ng numbers dito sa f, sa column ng f. So, that's 8 plus 11 plus 14 plus 9 plus 2 plus 1. So, ang n natin ay 45. So, substituting these values, yung summation of f times x at saka yung n, we now have 422,500 divided by 45. So, pressing this in the calculator, our weighted mean will become 9,388.88888. So, sa statistics, I advise na ang pagra-round off lagi sa dulo. So, depende na lang sa instruction or sa direction kung ilang decimal places ang kukunin nyo. In our example, hindi ako nag-round up. Yung sagot natin dito ay repeating decimal, kaya naglagay na lang ako ng bar on top. Pero tingnan basahing mabuti na lang yung instruction kung magra-round up to kung ilang decimal places ang kailangan. Okay, so I think we're done with the mean. Proceed naman tayo sa median. Ano naman yung tinatawag natin na median? So the median is the middle number in a set of data arranged in ascending or descending order. So yung gitna, ibig sabihin, when there are even numbers of elements, the median is the mean of two middle numbers. Ayun, so magbigay tayo ng example para mas maintindihan yung definition. So simple data po natin is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pag sinabing median, ito yung gitna. Ano po yung gitna natin na number dito sa ating distribution? Paalala lang, in determining the median, kailangan yung data mo ay naka-arrange either in ascending or descending order. In this case, the numbers are already arranged in ascending order. So obviously, yung gitnang number natin is 3. So the median is 3. What if, for example, ito naman yung given natin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 yung ating numbers doon sa set of data. So pagka ganito, pagka even number, yung number of elements, gaya po nung sinasabi dito sa definition, ang gitna mo kasi dyan is yung dalawang numbers na 3 and 4. So para makuha yung median, i-average mo po ito. Or kukunin mo yung mean nung 3 at 4, nung dalawang middle na numbers. So what is the mean or the average of 3 and 4? Obviously, that is 3 plus 4 over 2 or 7 over 2, that is 3.5. So ang gitna or the median is 3.5. Another measure of central tendency is the mode. Ano naman yung tinatawag natin na mode? So the mode is the number that occurs most often in a set of data. So, ibig sabihin sa Tagalog, ito yung pinakamadalas na mag-appear na number doon sa iyong given set of data. Ang mode class, pwede kang ang sagot mo dyan is isa or marami or wala. So, a set of data can have more than one mode. If all the numbers appear the same number of times, there is no mode for that data set. Let me give you an example. For example, given 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, ano yung number na na pinakamadalas mag-appear? Yung number na pinakamadalas mag-appear in our example is 2. Therefore, the mode is 2. Dahil isa lang yung mode mo dito sa ating given set of data, we say that the data is unimodal. Ibig sabihin, meron lang isang mode dun sa iyong data set. Another example is 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. So, ano-ano pong mga numbers ang nag-appear ng pinakamadalas? So, kung mapapansin dito, yung 2, dalawang beses nag-appear, yung 3, dalawang beses din nag-appear. So, ibig sabihin, dalawa ang mode mo or modes mo dito sa ating data. Ang modes natin are 2 and 3. Since dalawa ang mode, we call it bimodal. We also have trimodal and then we also have multimodal na set of data. Now, what if, for example, ang ibinigay sa inyo is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? What is the mode in this case? So, kung mapapansin mo, yung lahat ng numbers ay nag-appear lang only once, ibig sabihin yan, there is no mode for this data set. More examples tayo. Let's find the median and the mode of the following test scores in mathematics. So, unang step na gagawin is arrange mo yung numbers either in ascending or in descending order. So, ang gawin natin, i-arrange natin siya in ascending order. Doing that, we have this. Next, kunin natin yung value ng n. Yung n mo is yung bilang ng numbers. So, yung n mo dito is 7. Ang formula natin for the median is n plus 1 all over 2. So, ang n mo is 7. I-substitute mo lang. Ang median equals 7 plus 1 over 2. And what is 7 plus 1? That is equal to 8. 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. Hindi pa po yun ang sagot. Yung 4 na yon, ibig sabihin, yung fourth data sa iyong arrangement. Ano po yung fourth data natin dito sa ating arrangement in ascending order? Ang fourth data natin o yung gitna is 49. Therefore, the median is 49. Okay? Next naman is identify natin yung mode sa ating example. So yung mode natin, yung number na may pinakamadalas na appearance dun sa ating set of data. Napapansin nyo dito na yung 59, yun yung pinakamadalas mag-appear dahil dalawang beses siyang nag-appear doon sa ating set of data. So that means our mode is 59. And this implies na yung ating set of data ay unimodal. Another example, the following is a list of weekly savings of 10 students. So ito yung weekly savings ng 10 students. Let's find the median and the mode. Unang step, arrange natin yung data in ascending order. It's up to you kung gusto nyo ascending or descending. Pero for uniformity of our solution, let's agree na lang na ascending order siya. Next is count natin yung ano yung magiging value ni n. Ang n natin in this case ay 10. So kunin natin yung median using the formula n plus 1 over 2. So substituting 10 in place of n, median equals 10 plus 1 over 2. 10 plus 1 is 11, and 11 divided by 2 is equal to 5.5. So paano po ang gagawin pagka 5.5? Ibig sabihin, ang median mo ay nasa gitna ng 5th at saka ng 6th data. Ang 5th at ang 6th data natin ay 50 at saka 60. So para ma-determine natin yung median, kukunin natin yung average nitong dalawa or the mean. So to find the median, we get the average. So to get the average, i-add mo lang divided by 2. 50 plus 60 is 110. 110 divided by 2 is 55. So ang median natin ay 55. For the mode, ano po yung pinakamadalas mag-appear? Yung pinakamadalas mag-appear na number is 50. Kasi yung 50, 4 times na naulit sa ating set of data. So ang mode natin ay 50. Okay, next is measures of variability. So magkaiba ang measures of central tendency sa measures of variability. Sa measures of central tendency, ang focus ng computation at analysis is nasa center of the data. Ano naman pagka measures of variability? So the measure of variability refers to the extent of the spread or dispersion of a set of values in a data set. Meaning sa variability, ang ina-analyze natin or ini-interpret is gaano magkakalayo or gaano ka-disperse yung data mo. It quantifies the degree of diversity or deviation from the average or the mean in a data distribution. So aside from kung gaano sila kalalayo sa isa't isa or kalayo sa isa't isa, sa measures of variability, kino-consider din kung gaano kalayo yung bawat score or number sa iyong average or mean. So what are the different measures of variability? Ito po sila. We have the range, the mean deviation, the variance, and the standard deviation. Unahin nating i-discuss yung range. So range is defined as the difference of the highest value and the lowest value of a data set. So napakasimple nung formula. Highest value minus lowest value. For mean deviation naman, it measures the average deviation of the values from the mean, ignoring the algebraic sign of each deviation. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, gaano kalayo yung data, yung mga scores dun sa iyong mean. Ang formula natin for mean deviation is the summation of the absolute value of x sub I minus, so remember, itong symbol na to is the mean. So, kailangan kukunin muna yung mean all over n. Yung n is yung total. Okay, yung total no or yung kung gaano karami yung iyong numbers doon sa iyong given set of data. Next is variance. So variance is the expectation of the squared deviation of a random variable. So it measures how far a set of values are spread out from the mean or average value. So parang mean deviation din siya, no? Kasi ang mini-measure dito is gaano kalayo-layo or gaano kalayo sa isa't isa yung mga numbers in a given data set. So ang formula natin for variance, particularly sa sample variance, is s squared is equal to the summation of quantity x sub I minus mean squared all over n minus 1. So dito n minus 1 kasi ang kino-compute natin dito ay sample variance. Okay? So ano po ang interpretation natin sa variance? Ito po yung interpretation natin. If the variance is high, the data have some very large dissimilarities among them. Ibig sabihin, kapag yung variance ay sobrang laki or sobrang layo dun sa mean, ibig sabihin nun, yung mga scores natin ay magkakalayo-layo. So, kung i-interpret natin siya sa test scores ng mga bata, pag mataas ang variance, ibig sabihin nun, magkakalayo yung score. It's either may sobrang taas or may sobrang baba. Now, on the contrary naman, if the variance is low or zero, ano ang ibig sabihin nun? So, if the variance is low or zero, the data is close to each other or almost the same. So, pag zero ang variance mo, ibig sabihin, pare-parehas lahat ng scores ng mga bata. Or, kapag low ang variance, that means hindi masyadong magkakalayo or magkakadikit lang yung kanilang mga scores. So, that's how to interpret variance. Yung next natin na measures of variability is the standard deviation. Ang standard deviation, it is just the square root of the variance. So, kung na-recall nyo yung formula ng variance, lagyan mo lang siya ng square root, yan na po yung standard deviation. So, ganun din, kapag mataas ang standard deviation, it indicates that the data are spread out or dispersed from Or the same example, pero ang hanapin naman natin variance at saka standard deviation. So same example ito, ang kukunin natin is variance. So ito yung ating formula for variance. At balikan lang natin yung mean natin kanina na compute natin, ang mean ay 61.25. So ang gagawin natin is mag-construct ka ng table. Ayan, yung table natin is sa first column yung raw scores. Second column is raw score minus the mean. And then, third column natin is yung square. Okay, square nung difference nung raw score at saka nung mean. So, ganun pa rin yung gawin natin. So, kada score dito, is-subtract natin by 61.21. So, 25 rather. So, 50 minus 61.25 is negative 11.25. 60 minus 61.25 is negative 1.25. So, nagawa na natin to kanina. So, ayan. Ituloy-tuloy na lang natin. So, ito po yung mga lalabas na values. Next na gagawin is, lahat ng numbers mo dito, or results dito, square mo lang. So, ibig sabihin ng square, halimbawa, negative 11.25 squared, ibig sabihin yan, ita-times mo siya ng 2 beses sa sarili niya. Or that is, negative 11.25 times negative 11.25. Ang resulta natin is this. Napansin niyo hindi ako nagra-round off kasi in statistics, mas maganda kung ang pagra-round off mo is nasa final answer. Kasi pag nagra-round off ka along the process, magkakaroon ng discrepancy doon sa iyong final answer. So, lagi sa final answer lang tayo magra-round off ng numbers. Okay? Next is negative 1.25 squared. So, ibig sabihin nun, negative 1.25 times negative 1.25. So, ang answer natin is 1.5625. Notice din na kapag nag-square ka ng isang negative na number, magiging positive din siya. So, sa dulo, kahit positive o negative yung nandito sa second column mo, pag in-square mo yon, magiging positive lang din. Okay, so square mo lang to lahat, 8.75 squared, ibig sabihin 8.75 times 8.75, that is 76.5625. Okay, i-fast forward na natin. So, in-square po ito lahat, ito ilalabas natin ng mga numbers. Next na gagawin natin, kung susuriin niyo yung formula, meron tayong ganito. Ang ibig sabihin nitong symbol na to is summation o sum. So, it implies na lahat ng sagot mo dito sa may column na to, pagpa-plus-plusin mo lang. So, the summation of x sub I minus mean squared is equal to 2,137.5. Okay. Ang n mo, nakuha mo na yung n, di ba? Ang n natin dyan is, ilan po lahat ng numbers? 8. So, i-substitute mo na. Pwede mo nang makompute yung ating variance. So, rewrite lang natin yung ating formula. And then, i-substitute mo lang yung mga numbers. So, variance equals 2,137.5 all over 8 minus 1. Simplify natin yung ibaba. So, 2,137.5 divided by 7. Press mo lang ito sa calculator. Ang lalabas is 427.5. And that is the variance. Now, after the variance, i-compute naman natin ang standard deviation. Madali na lang pagka nakuha mo na yung variance. Kasi ang relationship ng variance at standard deviation, ang standard deviation is just the square root of the variance. Tatandaan ang standard deviation ay square root lang ng variance. We can also say that the variance is the square of the standard deviation. So, ito yung formula natin for standard deviation. The same lang halos ng variance. Ang dinagdag lang, naglagay ka lang ng square root. Na-solve naman na natin yung value na to, right? So, i-substitute mo na. So, standard deviation equals the square root of 427.5. Pressing this in your calculator, ito yung ating pinaka-final answer. Now, kung 2 decimal places, ang magiging sagot natin ay 20.68. So, pakibasa na lang mabuti yung instruction. Another example. So, the life expectancies in months of a hypothetical species of birds in captivity are, ito po yung mga given numbers. So, ang isa-solve natin ay range, mean deviation, variance, and standard deviation. Unahin natin ang range. Range equals highest value minus lowest value. So, ang highest mo ay 46, ang lowest mo ay 20. So, range is 46 minus 20. Ang range mo is 26. That's it. Next, kunin naman natin ang mean deviation. Formula natin is summation of x sub I minus mean, o the absolute value of that, divided by n. Ang unang gagawin muna, kunin ang mean or average. So, para makuha ang average, pagpa-plus-plusin mo lang over total number of, kung ilan po lahat ng numbers dito sa ating data. So, that is 20 plus 24 plus 32 plus 36 plus 40 plus 46 divided by 6. 6 kasi 6 po yung pinag-plus-plus. Ang mean natin is 33. Next, construct ka ng table. Ito po yung ating mga columns, yung kanilang mga labels, kada column. The raw score, and then yung second column, yung difference ng raw score at mean. And then third column is yung absolute value ng difference ng raw score and the mean. So, gagawin lang, subtract ulit, 20 minus 33, that is negative 13. 24 minus 33 is negative 9. Continue mo lang yung process hanggang sa dulo. Next, get the absolute value. Pag absolute value, tanggalin mo lang or disregard yung sign. Negative 13 becomes 13. Negative 9 becomes 9. Ituloy mo lang hanggang dun sa dulo. Next is kunin ang sum nung column na to. So, summation of the absolute value of x sub I minus mean is equal to 50. So, ang makukuha mo na ang mean deviation. So, that is 50 divided by n. Ang n mo ay 6. So, kaya 50 divided by 6, ang mean deviation is 8.33333, which is a repeating decimal. Kung 2 decimal places pinapa-round off, ang sagot natin is 8.33. Now, using the same example, kunin natin ang variance. Again, ang formula natin is this. At i-recall lang natin, ang na-compute natin na mean is 33. So, para ma-compute ang variance, gawa ka po ng table. Ayan, first column, raw score. Second column is raw score minus the mean. And then, third column is yung square ng difference ng raw score and the mean. So, gaya po ng ginawa natin, i-copy lang po natin yung nandito. Ayan, next na gagawin natin is i-square to ng isa-isa. So, negative 13 times negative 13 is 169. Negative 9 times negative 9 is 81. Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. Continue mo lang hanggang sa dulo. Next is kunin ang summation or sum ng mga numbers dito sa third column. That is the summation of the square of x sub I minus the mean. So, pag pinag-plus-plus using your calculator, that is 518. So, ang n mo dito is, of course, 6. Tapos, ito na yung pangtaas na ipapalit mo din sa formula. Pwede na nating makompute. So, variance equals 518 all over 6 minus 1. So, ang 6 minus 1 natin is 5. So, 518 divided by 5. Ang variance natin is 103.6. Next is standard deviation. Madali na lang to. Standard deviation, square root mo lang yung sagot mo sa variance. So, ang sagot natin kanina is 103.6. So, square root ng 103.6, in your calculator, ang standard deviation natin is 10.1784. So, I hope clear sa inyo yung discussion natin on statistics, particularly ang measures of central tendency for ungrouped data and measures of variability for ungrouped data.